and I'm back. So, one shot. Holy hell. Holy hell. That was something else. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. I really didn't. I still need to cool down from that. That's a big one. I mean, at least I have no game to recommend to other people. Right now, we'll be doing this. So, like most of you guys won't know, but this is basically a dungeon game where you can play in a dungeon. And I'm gonna now be working on making that dungeon a little bit bigger, a little bit better. And the first thing that I want to do is add rooms to this dungeon. And for that, I'll also be up to, like making sure that this code is a little bit neater because it's a lot of repetition of stuff that I do not like. Like for example, these are repeats of each other, and I kind of want to make it so that it doesn't repeat. So, track methods, gate, object, add. Session it also will have a type, or the 0 as the type in this case, and then also it will have false because it's not rotated. So I want that to work. Here you don't return a void, you don't need to return anything. We'll have int type, and then also what is it? The data also I want this to be a vector too, actually. I think it has an autoconverter. So now I can say here, create subject at boss. It is, yes, at boss 3. False, and I'm gonna get the false to be automatic actually. Think about it. It would not be bad. Because then I have less problems with it in the long run. Also, E3. I don't need anything from lighting currently. I won't be dealing with lighting in this entire world. In a little bit. Really. So, that's all fine. So yeah, this is this. No, this can be changed into 5. This one. And then this just needs to be minus 0.5 from both. And this is 4. And then it's minus 2. Okay, so that's that. And the false we don't need. Okay, it simplifies this code like a lot, a lot. And that is the 2 perform. And it's at end. This cleans this up already a lot. And this is also, but this is why I wanted the rotated flag. So I can check if it's, I don't know. Otherwise we can just say like false is identity rotation, just totally no rotation. Otherwise it's a 90 degrees turn. It's just so that, for example, if we have walls, you can have walls go horizontally and vertically. Yeah, if you're lucky from the top side, you can get them to go horizontally and vertically. If we could display, I can show you. So now we can say here, create object at it's false there divided by 2 currently. I need to listen to it. 2 This also needs the type, which is 1. The and on the side I also need to same exact same. It's a lot cleaner. Okay. Now I want the rooms to work because I've been wanting to add rooms to this. It's not worked out yet. So like this is the this is the instantiation phase. We have the generation phase and the instantiation phase. So here we generate the actual room, like in memory. And here we instantiate every subsection. So this basically here instantiates a singular object, like a singular tile, which I might split out. Because if we later want to unload and reload tiles, then it might not be a bad idea to do that. But we'll see on how. If we, with the 50/50, I have not seen any performance issues. That's still all fine, but we'll see on how it goes. I probably want to go bigger than 50/50. Though it's already like a 250 by 250 meters that you need area they can walk around in. It's massive. For sure. Now. Now my wall code is not working. That's a good question. So I want to first know which position that I actually have. What is this position? So this position here. So the add walls to list, is that the corner? So if I open up a paint, so what I now have is, for example, if we generate area here, I mean, for example, say that this here is the stump. I think it's this position, because I check this one, this one, this one, and this one if there are any adjacencies. If there is only one adjacency, then this is my offset one. I do -1, then I can generate my up there. But I think it's actually better. I generated up here. So just a 1 block type wall, 2 blocks here, blocks here. Whatever. So that this is a 5x5, but then in the middle, the coin, because I want to make you able to take up coins. My foot fit perfectly. I don't think a 3x3 would actually fit within the station that I have, because it would offset the exit point. 5x5s would work though. In their big rooms though, they're actually massive rooms. I might try to do 3x3s first. So if that is our position and this is our offset, right? Yeah, so that is our offset here, is the one we calculate. So T is correct. Yeah, so it's the exact offset to the tile that is okay. So first I need this offset. Where do I use it? I add it here, but I want to subtract it. Because we want to go the other way. So we want to, instead of go this way, we want to go this way. Okay. And now we add this, so this is the center block of our calculation. Okay. And then add cell to position, this position. Actually need to add this to it. Otherwise we'll add a position, so it's vector 3 to end center is equal to plus minus offset. Now we have the center, and then how many times I can probably add a multiplier to offset, and then to these two numbers here, say how big it needs to be. So if I do offsets times 2, I can also do these numbers times, like this one times, yeah, so number plus 1 is also number plus 1. I know this is just number and this is number plus 1. So I can make any size room then. Okay, so this should work. There's a big should there. Have any error? Custom methods currently do not support default arguments or parameter arguments. Ah, okay. So false. So I need to supply the false here. These ones. which is fine. That's good to know. Something we have to work around. And we can click generate. And then something strange has happened. Everything is tiles. So we have now suddenly just one gigantically big. Huh. That's interesting. So if we do +1, but I wanted to be there. Actually, the offset times 2. See about that. Because at the moment, I was checking this one -1, so this section here. Well, I want to be checking this section, if this is okay to place, because this tile I know is fine. And I will in the end need to make sure that this is not ran like within the instant, because otherwise people are gonna lose their mind, because some these like 50-50 maps, 50 by 50, I don't know how quick that will generate on a quest. I'll probably need to add such a system. It seems like it's still everything becomes roots. What kind of is strange? Because not everything should be able to generate rooms. Okay, it's a little bit better. Huh. Sweet. This is super big. Just to check, it's less than. It's bigger than -0.5. That should always actually. So this should generate just a normal ace. Without rooms or anything like that. Just regenerate a number from 0 to 1 floating point. Should not be a problem. Oh, this also generates just a singular room. Ah, I know what's happening. I know what is happening. Okay, that is just me being super stupid. This needs to be tight. That's not the type. Then we won't see what we actually are doing here. And it will just all be tiles. And that's not what we want. now we have the actual maze, which is looking good. Okay. Now what I can probably do is put it back to 0.5. And now we can see if we generate some rooms. It could be at the moment like a lot of rooms. Like a lot of rooms. I don't even know if these are connected to everything. You see that we do have rooms. It also did generate a coin in the middle of it, so that's good to see. Able to definitely generates the now, but I have the feeling that generates them one part apart. I really think it does. Yeah, I think they need to be one of. They need to be one of. But I just am not filling in the gap yet. I think that's what's happening. So I need to add a cell to position. Not at the center, but at the pause. It is pause. It's with one. As this will connect everything up. Now I wanted to check on how my wall generation code then works, so that it looks at existing tiles around it a little bit better, or to generate the actual walkways. There's something wrong with checking for wall re-adding the. So what it does is basically it generates a list of walls that need to be checked. And I need to check which so the position here is the original position of the wall. Yes, okay. So what I then here need to do is check if that direction I give it, if there is a opening there, and return 1. So I don't think I use, yeah, I don't use +2 here. Let's check. Okay. There's no single checks, because otherwise we check both sides, which I'm finding strange. Like if they're within bounds. And if that all plus each other is just 1, then we can say like, hey, continue. Now so we have this gets basically the offset back. So which offset it was that we used here, it gets it back. It depended on which one was active. If T is 1, then this one, otherwise B is 1, this one, L is 1, this one, and otherwise it's this one. Now, so for the adding of a wall, if I would check that, so I get the new position, which is the offset, right? 1, because it's just the wild tile here. This, so this wall tile here, and then the one above it, which is in the negative direction of what we just checked. This is the check that we've done. It's in that negative direction. And then we, yes, and we know it's empty, and we know this tile is empty because of the other false check. So then we can say like, hey, okay, we set that one to 1 and set the other one to 1. Which I thought we had something for. Yeah, at cell to pause. Sell the pulse. Pulse. And I'm always sure that it's within bounds and everything. Now we add the new position, like add walls to lists. So then from this point we add this, this, and this to the walls lists normally. So add walls to lists. That is just to check them out later. But I think the problem that we're having here has to do with now I also add the one where he came from back to the list, which is not really a good idea. I know it will fail. But I mean, if we can avoid it. Because we do have the offset here. So we know if the offset is equal to the offset. And we don't need to re-add it, because that's just backtracking and unlogical stuff that you do. So room can be generated then also. Not that it will succeed because there's already tiles there, but hey, still. I want to make a little array with the directions in. Just as a reference, because I've now been using them for so many times. And it would make it a little easier if I can just do 4 0 I less than direction length plus, and I can just say directions I if directions I is equal to off, it's not equal to off, and we can do it in that specific direction. Which will be a lot better, I think, in my case. What is this? What is this? Yes, what is this? What is this? This is something I'm making. Let me first fix this up. So, public vector 3 and direction. This is an array. Go to a new 2 ends of 4 elements with new 2, 3, 4. 1 negative, and we have 0, 1, and negative. Now we have direction. This is an array. With a new, I guess I can just say null. No, I can't say null. Or it's actually 0. Yes, okay. And then what I wanted to do is also for this, do the same. But I could do the same for this and then also for this. And make it a lot easier. Because I need to do that a couple of times. And it will make it easier. But no, what this is a maze generator. I have errors. This length is at the capital. It's a symbol. Now let me decompile this and then show you. Come on, Unity, a little bit faster. Thank you. Okay, if I press this generate button, it did not. It wanted to. I need to remove the rooms first so that you can see what it is. Because the rooms are at the moment fucking things over. This way to remove them is by making that negative. There we go. Okay. So now I want to. What? Well, I changed some code that made it not do what it's supposed to do. Did I know? Not equal to off. Yes, then we do that in the directions. Directions have been set up correctly. Okay. But there's no drawer for type for Unity. Blah. I hate there's no drawer for that. But basically it should generate in this mass of pillars, right? It should generate a maze. That is what it did just a little bit ago. Before I fixed things over by cleaning up the code. Yeah. Normally it's add wall to lists plus the direction. Add the direction length is 4, so that should not work. Yeah, I broke it with cleaning it up, yes. And y is not equal to, that's why. So this direction dot x is not equal to the x of the offset. So what I'm here trying to do is, if you have a cell, and for example k from this side, and I don't want to add this side back in. So if the x and y value are not equal, yes, it should work. No, I haven't. Sorry. I can't answer you that honestly. No, I haven't. Not yet. Not yet done with it. I know Ree, but I needed my sleep. That mainly. What? No, that. What homework are you talking about? Because I don't think we're talking about the same homework then. What? Wait, did I miss something? Did I miss something? No, I did not. What? I I totally forgot that I already needed to take that one. I totally forgot about that. I could do it now. I mean, don't I already have one? Let me check something. Where are VRC inspections stored again? Um, is this a transparent one? Yes, this is the transparent one. This would work. I'll send them in. I think this one. Yeah, this one is a little bit better. I'll send it to you personally, I guess, or who needs it? I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't because I don't have my mouth open, so I was not talking at that point. Give the blood. Okay. Okay. Uh, there we go. Done. Done. Don't have homework. Can continue. Ah, this should just work. Dane must also have forgotten. They must also have forgotten it. Like, you should know by now, right? You should know by now, right? I mean, maybe she'll remember when she sees me sending her the photo. Maybe, maybe. Oh, uh, no, I first actually want to check if this just works. Because if this works, then it should. My if statement is faulty. Which would make me happy. My if statement was faulty, that would make me happy. So I just need to rewrite the if statement. And it would work. does not seem to be the case. Which makes me worried. Does this work? Yeah. I've worked a little bit on it, on the udon, but I haven't done much this weekend because I slept for most of it. Because I needed my freaking sleep this weekend. So, yeah. Ah, okay, so now we're back to generating rooms. Which is good. Yeah, definitely half over working on the map. Half is more important than working on the map, and then I know. Oh, what? Now this. Just a little bit annoyed that. So can we find a? If I really need to add lights to the. 2D. Can I go 2D mode, but then it's like this. Okay. Because I find that it generates these ones correctly now. So the rooms are generated correctly, right? All of these, it generates it correctly. It saw that like, okay, this side, okay, I can generate the room. Only when generating a walkway from point A to point B, it only checks. So it's this point that I've added to the list. It only checks this point, this point, this point, and this point. It doesn't just check these corners. Because I could just check if in this 9x9, right? If we only have three of them, 3 or less. Because it could be 3 or 2 or even 1. So if there are 3 or less, then this is a valid way to generate a walkway. Because of this style, I don't want this to happen. That these ones I want to be isolated. I might, when I'm generating this kind of room, that I add this style, and this style to it. So that it then can say like, okay, and this 9x9, can I go in a specific direction? It just sees these 3. So it should be able to go to here. And it adds these points and then it checks again. So I should be able to do that. And then we won't get into these kind of issues anymore. So moving that check over to 9x9 would not be a bad idea. And that check is done over here. So yeah, and then the check position definitely needs not worth that. Actually, this is all fine. just it's just how do I check which direction? Because these things are directional. So for example, if I have this room over here, right? Because I know that this cell here is one of... So I would need to check these separately. Again, to know which direction we're coming from. Still. But like this check would still need to stay. Just for this check here. Or I'm a little bit smart with it. I make a an int array. Checks new int array of 9 elements in total. And then I can check if or checks at position, because so if you for example have this, what we could do is these would be the checks. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So then we can say, okay, 1, 3, 5, and 7. X1, 5, 7. 3, 7. And this check 1 would be T, check 2 would be T, check L. Now we have still all the checks, but I can for loop it. Anyone specific for loop which I already have over here? This one. Zero, 3. That's 0, 1, 2. This can all. Actually, I want from -1 to 2. For the reason that this is still a thingy, but then it translates better to these values. Because now I can have also an int x equal to 0. I can say that the checks at or index will be equal to, because I already have the index here. Index checks to this, then with X and Y. So that now should be checking it 3 by 3 instead of a diamond. Diamond with a one size. So let's see, and I also need to check now if it's that is equal to 1. No, this is last. I mean, now I can also just add them all up. So, if so now if add is less than 4, that we know that there is space to put something. What I'm just worried about is if it like generates something like this and this, that here, if it wants to go in this direction, right? We'll see these, like this one, and this one. If it didn't generate this here, right, then I will see and I will still try to go here, even though there is like only 3 tiles. There wouldn't be anything here, so it's not a fail-proof solution yet, I feel. How did it generate this? That is my honest question here. How? I wanted to only generate just normal ones, because I want to see if the code works with just normal ones, and it's not, that it's these ones fucking it up. That would be amazing if it is. Ah, so there is something wrong. What? No. It's wrong. Checks 1, 3, 5, 7. Oh, I think I know. Because they don't line up. So this should be this. This should be yes, correct. This is also correct, and this is yes. That's why it's not working. Because the directions are not correct. Okay, there's still something incorrect about this. Huh. Still something very incorrect about this. Oh! Oh my... looks seems stupid, but it is. So what I did was in the array, the first element was y, and the second element is. So it wouldn't be this, but it would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 instead of this one. Which generates more something than I want, but still not that. Why? Okay, now I want to change this to be just y instead of this to be x. So now first the x goes through and then the y. Now 1 is x is y1. Now we still go from the negatives to the positives. Well, I want to go to... Because I start from the top left corner here, not from bottom left. Yes. These are all assumptions that I did. But if I don't make those assumptions correct, then... Yeah. Oh. Almost? Question mark? There's some stuff here that looks to be going quite right. Some stuff that just doesn't. So something still does not add up. That's obvious. Yes, it's getting better. But so there's still something wrong. Now, I mean, this is probably like this the starting area. Somewhere here it starts. Why is there listeners in? Ah, so oops. Yes, you go. Because this scene already has an audio listen on this one. Also, what I'm gonna quickly do is go to our prefabs and on our coin, I'm gonna add a light, point light. And that point light will be decently yellowish. Yes. Um, let's enable lighting. Disable gizmos. Okay, that will do a little bit. That's a nice color for the coin. I also do want to make the coin like instead of cube standard, maybe make it a lit color. It'll look a little bit better when emitting light. Yes, that looks a lot better. Okay. Because now if I now generate, let's play and then generate, and if I am being stupid. I am being very stupid again. Because there won't be any. There is none because I forgot to enable rooms. Just wanted to see that with rooms. Nice thing is that all this generation stuff that I do now will work networkly because of how I set it up. It's I send a seed to the other client and then the size within height of the map, and then the other client can generate, because of the seeding, they can generate the exact same environment. And that looks pretty nice. Yes, that looks pretty nice. Okay, that's good to see. Now what I want to do is get here back here. See why this is still not working. So it must be with something to do with this offset position. Because now we go from y1, we go from y negative x. So this is the x position is negative on this side and positive on this side, and then y is negative on this side and positive on this side. So it's from positive 1 to negative 1, positive 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So if I quickly take this, so 1 would be on the x-axis 0, on the y-axis 1, and 3 is on the x-axis -1, the y-axis 0, and this is on, oh wait, x is -1, yeah, and 5 is, okay, so that one is wrong. This one needs to be that. Yes. That might be why it's breaking. Might be it. Hey, I saw senpai. The run. Let's hope it's just fixed now, because then I can go back to the rooms generation. It looks to be fixed, kind of. I mean, it's going decent. It's going decent. I mean, the maze works. Yeah, definitely. The maze works. But it's gonna be hella hard. Like, this is actually gonna be hard to play through. Because things loop. And normally you don't have things looping in a maze. This is gonna be hard. Ah. I find it decent that it loops, but like, oof. Oof. Yeah, there's no visible path. Yes, yes. This is gonna be a hard maze to go through because you're just gonna get like if you start at a random position in the maze itself. So it's really gonna be hard to play through this. I am not worried about it though, because that makes me happy. It makes me actually happy that it's gonna be hard to play through it. That you're gonna need to remember your pathing. Yeah. I mean, it makes it a little bit easier to go from point A to point B, but if you don't know where point A or point B is, like if you're at A and you don't know where point B is, and you need to get to point B, it's not gonna be easy in here. It's definitely not gonna be easy in here. Like, it's possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but like other mazes, you can just use the right-hand wall and get through it, but this is gonna be hard. Now, I do want to add the rooms back again and see how messed up they make it. Because they could mess everything up. I do want the rooms to kind of be individual and fully enclosed. Like, fully on their own. So that they do not really interfere with the rest of the maze layout. And at the moment, I think they spawn too often. They just spawn too often currently, so let's make that like 0.3, I guess. Okay. What? Even at open 2? Okay. Or open 3? Now there's the 10% chance of spawning a room. And if I can't spawn a room, then I just spawn a... well... I like a corridor section. I mean, they're pretty okay currently. I mean, my PC does not like the lights, but we can just occlude the lights if you like more than 5 to 6 meters away, then we can just disable them with LODs. It's a good idea. I mean, it's decently, and the amount is also decent. Amount. Because in this case, you would need to find all of these. So you need to go and find all of these lights. All of these ones you would need to go and find in this maze. You would need to go and pick them up. Give a up. Add an LOD. I think that should work fine. Okay. So I think at 10 that's more than enough. Okay. Now I should be able to Probably just gonna disable this camera. Let's see how much that FPS gives me, because I think that one is the one that's taking up so much. Yeah, that's the one that's taking up so much. Main camera doesn't, because of how it's located, where it's located. I think it's even gonna be better if we actually disable the delete coin. Even gonna run better. But yeah, I think this world's 8 people, maybe 12 max. I don't think more people need to be in here at once. That'd be cool if I could have more. I know the coin didn't really impact it. Bah. Bah bah. Yeah, it could be good if I could get more. But hey. There's no need for it though. Now, I still want to see if I can fix it though. Because so the problem that I have is that the positional check, if there is something there, is too minimalized. Even now with 4, like less than 2, right? That's what it is. So if add is 3, for example, if 0, 3 and 6 are filled, or 1, 0, 1 and 2 are filled, or 2, 5 and 8 are filled, or 6, 7 and 8 are filled. But the problem is that now as 6, 7 and 0 could be filled, 6, 7 and 2 could be filled. Oh, and those also make a valid path. So I would need to see if the 3 of them are 3, 2 or 1 are all connected, like here, here, here or here. Make sure that they're connected in any way, shape or form. And this could be like that, could be like that, could be like that, could be this one alone. So there's 4 options for each side that it could be. Because otherwise it's not a valid exit point. I mean, what I already want to add now is back in that to optimize this section here. I mean, I could make it so that this here is a section separate when like exit methods. Add section at random section. So now I can very easily throw in more code here to say like, hey, what do we actually want to do? And then we can get the offset from that area. Because what we now could do is check if for add less than 3, if checks so for example if 1 is active, so there's a top line, and equal to, yeah, means that the top line is active. So add must be less or equal than 3, that for sure. If the top line is active, I want to make this in a smart way, so I need to do the least amount if possible. The big problem is we don't have tuples. That's the biggest problem. We don't have tuples. Like, there's no way for us to create a tuple. I don't think they exist, tuples, because we don't have generics. So what I could do is check each cell individually against another list of cells and check if they're the same. That I could do. It's a lot of checking though. So I'm trying to find a good way to solve this. So I can check if this one is equal to 1 and checks. So because of this we know that, so this we do not need to check. We already checked this one, so any of these can be good. So the only two that we actually need to check is this one and this one, because those are the only two that could exist in any situation. So if the check from like 1 in this case is 6, if sec is not equal 1 and checks 8 is not equal to 1. Right? No, I know that 4 will never be 1. That is a guarantee. Or it's not a guarantee, but it will be a guarantee. Because that's where we came from otherwise. So that's for sure something that will not be there. So this one we never need to check. Now, if we have these and 4 we never need to check, we're checking these two. And these don't really matter because it will prioritize 1 as default up. But no, that's if we take this function. But so it better also be that this one and this one is also empty. Because I don't think ever this is gonna... I mean, I could also check if... So, and... 7. If this is the case, then we want have this with our this vector. So I can take 4 of these, and with number 3, 5, 7, 6, 7, 8, and 3 is you want 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. 5 is 0, 3, and 6. And 7 is 0, 1, 2. And that is x minus 1, x positive 1, y negative. So I'll let's add capital A. Okay, so now let's see if this works. It could still be that it's 2 more other places, which I could add if statements. This generates way less circles. Way less circles. Okay, like if I now even remove the ability to generate rooms, don't know how many times it will actually do it. And then the rooms I actually need to check very well, because I think I need to check one bigger than the room actually is. Not check the room alone, but also one bigger. It was too quick. Pressing play button. Still was busy with Udon compilation. That's not a good idea. Blah blah blah. Generate. Yes, look at this. This already looks a lot better. There are still loops, but there actually are other loops. I don't see any loops. No, I do not see any loops. Yes! Yes, no loops. Which is very good. It is complicated though. Like, holy hell. Which is a good thing though, because I want the maze to be complicated. Now for adding the room. I want this to be 2. It's also to be 2. This to be 3. It's also to be 3. Because I don't think the... So if we're generating it, so we have our center point, we have the room around it, right? They always have the cell to come into, so this entire section should be free because this one is not generated yet when we check the room. So this entire section should be free of anything. So this 5x5 should work. Then we just need to, and then we can generate the 2x2 and the one at the cell's offset position. Otherwise, we just add a wall. You don't really, there's no point. Because we already know that this section here contains only things over here, or maybe there and there. So the room cannot generate if those there. Anyways, so this should be fixing everything like that. So we now can remove this. So this now should generate nicely without loops or anything like that. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. We have nice isolated rooms. What I could now also do is add to the room's exits. Add more points that they could go out of from the rooms. If it wants to. And if it can. So it still was able to what looks like generate rooms in position that it shouldn't have. Oh no, it generated. Okay, so what's happening? I can see it over here. So it first generates the room. So the room has more than ample enough space to generate here, right? Now in the direction, and then it like went back. It probably chose this one then, right? And then it chose this one here. And it generated this block. And it said, okay, I don't have way that way. I don't have way that way. For example, if this already is generated. But then it sees like, okay, I can generate this way because there is only 2 here. There's nothing here, 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 and here. So it says like, okay, yeah, I can generate this direction. But it normally shouldn't be able to. Because it finds this here. This here is in use. So I should. I mean, it's cool though that the rooms already like are kind of integrated, but they create loops. I do think, yeah, they do create loops. It is nice though. I'd rather like that the rooms have, if you're here, it's only this, and this location that actually can have entrances. Or exits or entrances, whatever. I know that they're offset, but that shouldn't really matter. So I think I need to check one further out from the direction that wall is going to be. But only with walls. I'm now also thinking like maybe what I should do is have this check. Oh no, because we need to select the side at which we can go out of. We need to get that information. That information we can just get by checking the different areas. Oh. Because I want this pre-check, like if I could move this pre-check here, all of this stuff, instead of having it here, because this is, to be honest, this is very specific, my opinion, to the corridor, right? It's a check for if the corridor can exist, yes or no. Because the room has its own 5x5 that it's checking, right? So I do think that the corridor strategy would increase the performance a little bit. Because then it's only like it already done the if statement from like a room or corridor. So I do think that this here, this check, can be done at corridor level. Room at and here at the wall. We first do the check from hey. Can we? Do we have a space here that we can do it for? And then we can also. So we already know the direction in this case. So then this check becomes simplified. Because I know the direction already. And then add wall. Add wall. Is it add wall? Because we have this offset parameter, right? But how do I get from this offset parameter the indices? I could play around with these values here and see if I have this offset. If I can get it to rotate this around in some kind of way. Because we have this, 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 this. But if it's on this side, then it's 0, 1, 2. So it's on this side, and it's 0, 2, then it's 0, 0, 1. Because then I would be able to keep like 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. Because that means then that I only need to check the bottom one being 7. And then this one is the top, so 0, 1, and 2. I could also just check them in the... I don't need to check them in a loop anymore then. Because this here is... check that. Quickly. So if I, for example, have this, right, this is my position. So I just need to check pos. And then or direction times 2. And then on the x plus 1, and depending on y, which one it is, 6 or y. It's plus 1 the direction mode load. So I could go clockwise with the direction. Okay. Check pos of xy instead of this. Check of if this is on our pos. I just add these two together, right? To form the new pos. Yes. I do this. No. Okay, need it. Ship perform. The fourth loop also uses the big one. Also, you create room one also uses ship pulse, right? Check tell is all, which is the exact same if check pulse. Okay. Check if cell is well. If it is. So we just need to negate this. So is because then I don't need to negate it. Because that's what we're trying to check here, if it's empty. Now, if we check if it's empty, I need to check if it's empty, like so, is not clear. It's clear. Say n equals, because every one of these cells needs to be a wall. So false. Because we're digging out, right? So false. So if there's any truths in there, yes, okay. Now I understand my own logic. Stupid. Don't need to do this. We don't need to do that, that, and that. Just need to check pos and check that plus of times 2. It also needs to be empty. Now we need to check if that offset plus of the back to end rotated of a new event the y of x, which basically will give us the other direction. So what happens is if for example this is positive x, it will become positive y. If it's positive y, it will become positive x. So it basically rotates it around. Now we can say, okay, or offset plus or rotated, that one is empty. Or if the negative of that rotated. Yes. So that is now the same checks that we do on each cell. Now these checks, the add I don't really need anymore. And now these ones, I want else checks to be from else checks because I only want. I don't want two walls to be generated at the same point. There are only 4 options here. It's if position check cells empty on our position and the inverse of this one. Because that's the, if this is the position, right? We want to check if this one is there, which is the opposite of the direction that we want to go in. Also now I'm checking these ones. Because this I guess I'm fine with. I just need to make sure that these ones are. Guess they can't. Can. Okay. So now let's check. This is a lot simpler suddenly. This is positive. It's negative. It's positive. 0. Suddenly it become a lot simpler. Like a hell of a lot simpler. Just making sure that everything is okay. Yes, okay, so one, this one, this one more each. Okay. Can I not save it? Did? Yes, okay. Hmm. Huh? I'm trying to figure out on how it generated this. Right? The first thing that I'm thinking is, isn't this cell out of bounds? Like this cell, isn't this thing out of bounds? Apparently it isn't. Okay, let's just disable rooms for a second. So I can see it without rooms really failing in any way, shape or form. As they can break stuff very easily. Stop the algorithm from going. Because they don't add new walls to the algorithm. So they could just instantly stop it. Although now it just does not generate any key. Back to square one, I guess. No, not really. Now add wall. So ha 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 ha. This offset is the opposite direction. Right? Which is so what I'm doing up here is also wrong. So I could do this in a breakout for loop. Yes, I could. I could. That would be a lot cleaner. Breakout for loop. So just one, it's fine. One contain breaks out of the for loop and just continues with the well. Which is a lot better in my opinion. And just runs over the directions and checks them. Oh, that is lucky, I guess, in a sense. Okay. So now what I'm checking is if I go here. So I add this, so I add this, this, and this as the positions, right? So for example, if I come on this position, then I check if that cell is empty. And is empty returns true when it null is equal to null. So at start, yeah, we set it to 1. We set our position to 1, and then we add to the. Okay, so then we add all the this, and this to the list. Now, so we check if this one is. Okay. 1 1 1 1 negative 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 negative. Okay. Already not checking the negatives. For each of them. But that doesn't mean that it not works because we still have like this one and this one. So if this is positive, right? So if positive one checked, and we return that same thing, then we do a range check for a wall or room. It always is a wall, so we pass through the variables, and then we check if the position that we get, so that's this position, is empty. So we want that to be wall, and then we say, okay, like this is that section, so 2 minus is this section. We want that also to be a wall, and the two ones on the opposite side, so this one and this one, we also this one too, we also want those to be walls. So I was checking if they were I suddenly have the feeling that I'm doing a Conway's life thingy. Now that gives me a lot of loops. So I guess I want to do. Already had a suspicion about to. bit too quick. Okay. Then yes, okay, now it works again. Cool. Cool. That's good to see. So now if I now re-add the rooms, it's right here, 10% chance of spawning a room. Lots and lots of rooms, and not. Oh. So rooms still have something wrong with them that they even can overlap each other. Can overlap each other. Wow. That's something I thought I wouldn't have seen. Because there we just offset it by 2. So it's a little bit. So start position offset by 2. Then we check a 5 by 5. There we check if the cell is empty. If it's empty, then simple AND through. So want to check if it's not empty. Yes. But we want to check if it's yes. Is not clear. Yeah. So if any of these return true, then it's invalid. So want to say no spawn a room there. Okay. Because now we said basically on every occasion that we do not want to spawn a room, spawn one. It's just a little bit stupid. So now the only thing that I need to check if I can make it so that so now I just need to add on here and this one is 2 as another check from like, hey, I don't want the ending of the room to also be something. And now all the rooms should be free of any caveats or anything special. How did it spawn this? I don't know though. That, and that. That's a strange one. That's a very strange one. Look at that! That's what I wanted. Now each of those rooms are individual. And now no other rooms connect to them, so now the looping is also gone. Which I'm liking. This is working now. Key. Now. What I could add is the ability for these to now also work. Just add walls to list. Adds a wall on. Don't I now know? As walls to list is a. Because I know which ones. Okay, this is stupid. So because I want to hit at the walls list, right? Position. Which is our new position. Is the last bit. I want to do that plus or offset. Plus the two on the sides. So plus or rotated one. And minus or rotated one. That is the walls that I want to add. Yes. So now that is optimized. And then I want to, for the room, if we add a cell to the position of 1, I want to add the walls on the opposite side of the 1, so that is or so it's a center plus offset times 2. Then I want to create this rotated one. The rotated one, center, is 2, is 2. Now that should create exits at the correct locations. I think I did something wrong. I have a little suspicion I did something. Probably adding offset is where I went wrong. Offset should never be added. We remove because we need to go further away from. Okay, so the first 4 worked, and then I didn't add any anymore afterwards. So I added that new position, not at the original position. This was wrong there. And then yeah, we still that's the initial one. One thing about it now is that we could have walls and stuff like that that actually branch out really nicely. So now you can have rooms that actually follow into each other. Like this. This. You can have like a room that flows into a room. Now, this can loop. It's starting to work. It's starting to work. So, like the rooms are now way more integrated. The rooms also can now have exits connected to them. I mean, we still can have loops in them. Like if I check, where did I have one? Like here, this is a strange situation. This shouldn't happen. So this is like this one generating, and then this one generating on top of it. So they're very strange in my opinion. How did that came to be? Because that shouldn't happen. And I'm thinking how we could fix that, and I think that is because of the so I should check, do 2 more checks here. They also gonna one more here. It's the second mode, and it's just minus and plus the rotation position itself. Those also should not be. I think that will give it correctly then. But yeah, no, now the coins are correctly on their correct spots. So what I should be able, should not have these kind of issues anymore. And I want to see if I can make these in between corners only generate on the walls themselves, not anywhere else. So if I see that in a 4x4 there is a wall, or it is an empty and an non-empty. Yep, this looks a lot better. There's no more loops. This already is gonna be very complicated to run through. Also, I think I now have a way to generate an infinite size rooms, like any size rooms I think I can generate now too. Not only these 5x5s, but any size or thingy. But I think these 5x5s are nice for these coins. Now let's also see, because all the way at the end, I'm gonna see if end is always, I think it should be, but I think it also could not be. That this end block could be on a non it needs to be on a non an open space, basically. It needs to be on an open space. If I generate again, yes, like this. Now the axis is inaccessible because it's not in an open space. It could also not be on a coin tile. So there are two tiles that it could not spawn on. And I also want to make sure that it is a certain distance away from spawn location. That is not on the spawn location, as that would be annoying to have that on the spawn location. It's good to see that even on the 50x50. Now, if I put it back all the way back down to 10x10. Even on the 10x10 we have rooms. Ooh, cool. Okay, that makes me happy. Not many, and it also will be quick playable, but it could also be that there are no rooms. 10x10. So that's all good to see. Some 10x10 there's practically nothing there anyways. That is very good to see. Very good to see. Yeah, I am. I mean, this is more than the dungeon thing now. This is more than the dungeon thing now. But yes, I am. So, it's a little bit bigger than that. But VRC needs to continue with implementing the things that it needs to implement. I hope that in, like, I think in February, March/April, that we get the content drop of thingy. Oh no, I'm fine. I am fine. I mean, I am going to go sleep in like half an hour. Like, I think I'm gonna stop streaming in like half an hour. But like, it is getting to the end of the day, that for sure. But yeah, no, I'm fine. So yeah. Psycho, how are you doing? That's what I want to know. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I mean, that you're decent. Not the mental health thing, but who doesn't have mental health problems currently with COVID and everything else that's going on. You know? So, hey, could be worse. Be a lot worse. But if you think it's getting better, then I'm happy. For everybody, it's a rough time anyway. Good to see you type. That means that you're alive. So, yeah. Better to be alive than not to be alive. Yeah, that also helps. A job that... Oh, where you get to pick your hours. Oh, yeah, okay. No, that I can see also being a good thing. I mean, for me, for me, it's the regularity of things is helps for me a lot. But if you can pick your hours, also helps, in a sense. Well, the thing that I want to... Oh, I mean, I am going to make sure that the gameplay is there. Because I haven't done work on gameplay currently. And that gameplay is that if you have this end block, has the cube has a mono behavior on it, which TPs you. Okay, so now the coin is a little bit different. Also will have a gun behavior on it, but it should add something to a specific object. Now, how that's gonna be added, I'm gonna need to see, because could create a sharp script, and that is gonna be count. Okay, that's a big difference amount. That is a very big difference amount. But I mean, you're still only earning the money for each hour, right? So like I guess also need to play around with that a little bit. Yeah. So I mean, and make sure that you have enough things to do and that you can do it on your own time. That helps. Uh, oh wow. Yeah, then you're good off. Then I would say that you're good off. I think I will need... Okay, currently my bills paid 70 hours. I think 70 to 80 hours to get my bills paid currently. So you're actually really good off then. Like, so we have an integer of coins. And a public int Max points. These are not synced. Yeah, that could also be it. That could also be it. I have a decent amount of bills, so like, yeah. I really do have a decent amount of bills that I need to pay off. So these coins. Now, if we go through the entire thing, so it's not equal to 0, it's equal to 2. Then I want this create object add to actually also return the game object. Okay, because then I can here when I'm generating it, say game object coin. So I know that this is the coin. I need the inventory. Sorry. That will be set inventory. So then inventory dot sets program variable max coins to I could first count them and then set them. Better way of doing this. Yeah, you can. Okay. This is U sharp, which is super similar to C sharp. Like I'm basically writing C sharp. It's like for me with U sharp, it's so similar now that like if you know the caveats, then you can just work around them. Yeah, like the early version might not have had as much as it has now. I mean, why is C sharp so sharp? It's actually not sharp in any way, shape, or form. It's because it's what happens if you combine like it's C++ basically, but then compact it, or how should I say this? It's just an upgrade to. Yeah, I know that you were being dumb, but like it's basically what if you. I mean, they are really different, anyways. Can't even compare it like that. No, it's not even simplified because they run on totally different backends. I mean, people call it managed C++, but like it runs on a totally different backend. So can you then make that translation? You know? So that's it, right? Because C++ is a compiled language, right? So it's so yeah, it's a lot different. But hey, it basically does the same anyways. Coins. Yeah, I mean, for in your case, yeah. I mean, for me, it's the because Unity, you know, the thing that now tries to open. Um, because of that, and that is totally C sharp. I'm just mainly writing in C sharp. I mean, I've also needed to do C++ recently, and also Java and C sharp in the same project, which is crazy. But hey, uh, yeah, no. So if you're writing stuff for a Android phone, um, so we had problems with the uh, SDK from Google, which is now an open source SDK. But because Android is Java, and to talk between Java and Unity, Google used C++. I had to communicate from C++ to Java through from C sharp to Java through C++. If you know what I mean with this, which is stupid. Yeah, it was 2 weeks of headaches. uh, but hey, it worked out in the end. So now our coin. Now we have the coin dot get component. Oh, get component. Yeah. Good on behavior. And I want this to be. Also, this is coin. This is also a strange thing that you need to do here. Is you need to do this. I find this so strange because we cannot typecast it. Like we cannot use generics. So we need to get type of udon behavior, then get that component, and then convert it to an udon behavior. Because if you do it like this returns a component. So this is how we need to access a game object of another object. Yeah. And then we need to set the program variable inventory, which I'm now going to create on the coin, which I don't think I have created the coin yet. And by the way, this is all local. Because if you spawn something in VR chat, it does not replicate that the spawning in from. So yeah, this is fun. I mean, it could be worse. Very much could be worse. That we just cannot spawn in objects that have udon behaviors on them. Which is what people have been. If it was a taco, it wouldn't be worse. You could at least eat the taco. The object not being there is worse. Like, not beyond behavior. Coin. Coin. Now we convert that coin. Go here to assembly. Just not here. Assembly shop, yes. Crypts coin. It's here. So now I can say public. Right. Imagine someone spawning a taco and you can. I mean, you wouldn't even see it. That's the thing, right? If you spawn something in VR chat via the VRC instantiate, only you see that objects that you spawned in. Nobody else does. It's a local only object. So everything that I generate in the entire maze is local only. Everything. There is no syncing in any way, shape, or form in the entire maze. Like, so that is something I need to work around. That's why I need to now give this coin an object that everybody knows about, so that it can sync everything up. Not that I'm gonna, because these coins, everybody needs to pick them up themselves. Hey, that's another. Inventory dot set program variable means inventory get program variable coins, add one to it. I know that it's an int, okay. They can't you do something on create broadcasts, create local copy? Yes. But those local copies won't be linked to each other. So that's what I'm doing currently. Like, that's what I'm doing. So I'm creating on each client the same locals. But those locals don't know of each other. So if you, for example, like an object, if I would place an object inside of the scene as by default, if I would create a 3D object cube here, like this cube here, if I quickly go like this, if I add this VRC object sync would not work. So what VRC object sync tries to do is tries to sync the transform of the object over the network. That would entirely not function. And because the networking, you can only send stuff to the owner of the object, but if you have instantiated something, then the other people don't know of the object that you've instantiated. So all the networking stuff doesn't work on that. Nothing. So you first need to communicate with an object that has networking capabilities to then talk to the owner of that object, then maybe change something. And in all of that, you cannot send variables through. So to work around this, what you would need to do is create for each player that joins the room, get an already existing prefab, like an already existing in the world something, then assign that to the player that joins for everybody, so that other players can talk to them. Yeah, it's that part is entirely stupid. It is entirely stupid. I don't know why they done it. Maybe if they can give an explanation on why they done that, we could maybe work around that. But currently, like, it is an okay system. Like, you can already do a lot of stuff in it, and like you can work around it. It is workaroundable. But still, the networking, it's still a little bit iffy. But I mean, I also see why they don't want us to do specific things. Like, I know that, but maybe they have internal problems with not having it in this way, or maybe this is also the way on how Photon in their backend is set up to work. So I don't know how that system works internally for them. Alright, so it could be an internal thing that is shining through. But that it's for them better that it works like that, specifically. It could very well be. I definitely see that being the case, actually. But think about it. And yeah, I know what your opinion is on that one, but hey, could be a lot worse, believe me. Did I put it on here? Yes, I put it. This thing. So use it from 1 meter away. That already exists. That already exists, the VRC clone, but then I think based out of I mean, Psycho. I want to say, look at some of the metaverses. I know that there's so much like thingy money going into that now, but look at some of the metaverses that are being created now. I think some of them are going to be also VR compatible, and some of them are being developed from within thingy, from within Unreal. So I would take a look at that if you want to get into that. I just like VR chat because VR chat is something that already exists, has already proven itself to work, and that's why I want to continue with it. And it just is getting better. Have you seen the new content drop? Or the new content drop that will be released? Have you seen it? Like, I looked at it, like, yeah, I think it was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 3 days ago, actually. I can actually, I think, show this. So this thing here. Let me pause the music. Okay, but I will show this because this is, I think, still will interest you a lot. So Avatar Dynamics is a new thing that is gonna come out, and it basically adds. So you know how you had dynamic bones? They basically. Do you know burst? That is actually a big question, Psycho. Do you know burst and how Unity and burst were doing stuff? Yeah, I can imagine. Can imagine. Nope, but you do not know burst. Burst basically is a way with ECS, so with entity component systems, to multi-thread specific parts of your application. That's what burst is. Now, with that system, they made dynamic bone, like they made a version of dynamic bones on that system. I think you can already see the performance gains and what it's going to be, right? And how fast that can run. So yeah. Yeah, so you have buttons that you can press, avatar interactions, play around with hair, clap each other, play with colliders and triggers. Look how many they have! Look how many they have! Like, that's not many, but like, look at that. Headpads. Look at the amount of fucking things that they have. They can grab it. Impossible. So yeah, so that's coming early 2022. The open beta is coming. Yeah, but open beta is it's not an open beta. Yeah. But I mean, open beta doesn't take long then for them to release it. It's like a month longer. So like it's could already be like end of February. For most open betas that have been going on is literally been a month or around a month. Not longer or even sooner. But I know that they haven't put it in open beta yet. Otherwise, I would have known about it because I see everything from the open beta in the specific channel in my Discord. I mean, Udon did not take 3 to 4 months. I don't think it took that long. I don't think it took 3 to 4 months. Can't check, but I don't think it did. Because Udon was split into multiple parts. And they did open betas for each of the parts. Like same with the Uno update and everything like that. Either way, Also didn't mention this yet, but cool Avi thing. The light? I mean, you mean the my face? Is that what you mean? Yeah, it's my Avi. The light is actually coming because I'm not a, or this avatar is not a humanoid, is a robot. Ah, yeah, it's the light is coming from the eyes. That one specifically. The eyes are pretty much inset, are well inset. That's why. Ah, it's great then. Oh, I think I already have it. I mean, the main problem is with this Avi is that it doesn't really have a lot of detail to be a VRC Avi. So I have it as a VRC Avi. I have it. But it doesn't really have any real details. So it doesn't look as good. And I want to make it look better before I really make use of it. I mean, yeah, make it 240k poly version. No, no, that I would make myself like shame to myself. No, definitely not. Definitely not. I definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. And I like my current Avi in VR chat. I definitely like it. So, me. 16 4K textures. Yes, my Holo Avi. I like it. Like it a lot. So coins and max coins should all now be working. 16 8K textures. I mean, you're gonna just rate limit everybody at that point. uh, teleported. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, mine also, the Holo Avi also has a couple of weight paint issues still. But weight painting is like something you just constantly work on, in my opinion. Something that you constantly do. But now, so we have the inventory and max coins set, so that should all work. Now what I want to do is when we add the end, I want that to also be an object that end object as a game object. Yes. Also the end I still need to do a while to check if it's actually in a position that I can use it in. I'm actually gonna do that here. While check cell empty on end. So if the cell is not empty, or yeah, if there are walls there, basically, then end will be equal to a new random position, and I'm actually just gonna go range to width because I don't see the point anymore in doing it not like this. Times 2, no, it's normal. Okay. So then the end position is all for sure in a position that is accessible. And then what I just need to do here is this now. And I can imagine, yes, I can imagine. Do you need to use them often? No, right? I don't think you need to use them often. So now the inventory will also be assigned to the end bit, which is the teleporter. So if I now that here, because now then I can check if our inventory.get variable coins, if that is equal to maximum coins. No, but oh, I can take it. Take you to bed with me now. Yay! For once, yes you can. For once, yes you can. No, but generally when I only need. Yeah, true. Like for me, it's just random the range, and then I have it. Don't really need to do more, but it's also because of everything else that we have in already set up for us. X coins. This generator. Make sure that this is set correctly. I mean, I'm also a little bit going over already. But I do definitely want this to just work so I can upload this to VR chat. So that I can at least have it as a private upload. So that I know that it just works on VR chat servers. As that can sometimes not be the case. What I will check now is if I run this. Everything just works fine when I generate it. Wait, generate one. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Okay. Back to upside. Is it? What went wrong? So the coins. Wait, didn't I not set the inventory? No, inventory is set here. We don't runtime exception. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Oops. That can break it. That can definitely break it. And that is because I forgot to here. I guess remove this and then add it. The teleporter on here. That should still work. Ah, it's fine. There's a reason that's AMA at the end. There's a reason there's an AMA at the end. You know? The inventory is not set. Did the inventory get updated? Okay. So max coins did get updated. Okay. I guess it's time to test this in VRC. So let's build and test, shall we? Shouldn't take long. Building. Nah! For this world, there's practically nothing in here. Like the world is super small. Like crazy small. Anyways. 240 kilobytes. That's how small it is. This is dead end. God damn it. Didn't see it. Yes, I'm tiny. Yes, I'm tiny. Each tile is 5 meters by 5 meters. But also my avi is not big. Like for a normal size avi, it's I think gonna be a little bit better. There's the ending. Can I use it? That's problematic. That's problematic. Huh. Okay, I'll need to change that. That's just hope that there is. Oh. Ah. I need to make sure that the start position is actually on a place that I can join, and there was a room there. That is good to know. Yes. Ah. Okay. So now can I? I also cannot pick up the coin. So. So then we need to check both. I guess I need to add box collider. And it's for this cube 0.4, and then it is at 0.75. Like that. Also, I do not want a box collider on here. Then and this can be a trigger, yes. So the cube here is just open 5 box collider. Then spawn. I should do it. Set this to 0 and now we can build and reload. Yeah, rep. I've got 99 bucks in my code and I fixed one and I got 100. I've got 140. Yeah. That's a little bit big. Yes. That's a little bit smaller. Play. Okay. Let's see. There's a coin. And I can pick it up already from here. Wait. Okay, this makes me think
Because I think... Oh no. Oh no. I think I know what's happening here. And this is stupid. That I have this happen is a very good thing. But I hate it at the same time. The coin is at the same location as the exit. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, and I guess I can also not pick up the... I didn't click generate again. Okay. Let's check. I could fuck with you so very much. That was right. Yes, you did. I mean, last time that I think, seen you, you were writing assembly. Also, hello, Mars. I have not said hello to you. How are you doing? Oh, green cube. Maybe it's clickable now. No, it isn't. Do we have... could not load program. The urine behavior on coin will not run. School when I was left. Oh, okay. How did it couldn't not learn the program? Okay, that's annoying. I am quickly gonna do this and place those decently far away, just so that the program can load the... so that these scripts and everything is loaded, because it has problems with that apparently. So expand on. Actually can see stuff. Yeah, it times 20, so there are 20 coins here. And this is a problem that we have, right, currently. Yeah, now there's one coin, but the coin clone will not run, but the teleport from the... what's something coordinates 20 lines and had 90 something errors. Oh my god, this. But this is the strange thing about Udon currently, with objects that you're spawning. But why? Why? Why could it not load the program?
Why does it do this? Why does it do this? Ends up being the double space between two words. Wow. Because you could only have one space between every one. Yes, yes, wow. And yeah, it's like those errors are the worst. Yes, I agree with that. But I find that this is also just annoying. Straight up annoying. Because it means that the coins do not have any interactability. Now, how to fix that? I don't know, because I can't spawn anything in that will do it. So, yeah. Uh, huh. How to fix this? This is a fun one. Could not load program. Udon behavior on coin clone will not run. It's just so silly. Like, even placing it inside of the world. Maybe if I use the world one, that I clone this object here. Maybe that would work. Maybe. As it is already in the world. And we're just cloning that one. Maybe it loads it then. Maybe that actually worked. No, there's no coins. God damn it. If there are coins... Yes, there is coins now. So... I didn't have the error in... Yes, I didn't have the error. So, could this just... work now? Ah. Yay, another bug to add to the collection. I really need to get the play button to actually work functionally. I think it's a ×5 multiplier that I'm missing on the coin spawn, like on the location. That's what's wrong there. Now, either way, in this 50 by 50 area, shouldn't be hard to find. 50 meters by 50 meters. Yes, okay. So now the coin should have backupable. Yes! Okay, cool. But the ending doesn't work yet. Like, I can't click this. Clicking it doesn't do anything. So that's or the check failing, or something else. So, which is okay. But what I'm gonna do is just to make sure that it's all working fine. So I'm gonna take this end bit and place it at the end bit. Because now I'm for sure that the program is fine. Also, I'm gonna make sure that the TP is fixed. So I think I TP the for local position. Yes, I need to times this times 5. I think it's scale times the scale. Because otherwise it's just the wrong position. So that's what
What's happening wrong there with the TPs? No, no.
Reload. So maybe this will be it.
Okay, yeah, now you're actually somewhere in the maze that is like decently random. Nice. Ooh. And because it's seeded, everybody should have the same maze because I sync the size of the maze and the seed. That's what I sync up to everybody else. So everybody should get the same maze because the seed is the exact same. You know? Is the build a maze thing there? Or is it full seed now? Yeah, the build a maze thing is still a thing. Like that's not this. That is not this. That's already like Krobby. That's an actual world that works. That is not this.
Get on the switch location.
Krobby still has a lot of content.
There it is.
Nope. Okay, so let's be something else then. So I don't think in this one there's no. If I respawn here and I fall out, I don't think there is a coin room. And that's definitely clear. Okay, so there's no coin room, and so the interact should definitely work. So I don't think. So coins in the inventory, the coins, max coins. The coins would be 0 because it's default 0, and the max coins should also be 0 because I don't think in the generator we set it by default 0. I think so. Yeah, coins is 0, and then we just add them only up. Set them to max coins. Now, what I kind of want to see is if we, on this one, if I put in that in here, and this in here, if that will help it. Because I think it's just not getting the variables from thingy. If this helps because it's already there, this could help. As we're initiating it in the same scene. Seems to be. Yes, that's a lot better. Okay. Or there is Econ room, which could be. There isn't. So why don't I get TP? Okay, and interact. And I want to know if the inventory is there. What coins? And what is max coins? Could be that that just goes wrong. No, but hey. What's this? Wait, there's one coin. Is there actually one coin? If there is, then that isn't. No, that is. Okay. This time there is. And there. Okay, so now it should be 1. 1 and 1. Still 0 and 1. So, like the inventory did go through correctly, but on the coins did not add. Ah, I see why. But that doesn't mean that now if I generate this has a coin room. No coin room. Okay, cool. But this should work. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, so and interact inventory and then 2 times 0. So how is if we have 2 times 0? Oh my god, that is so stupid! That is so stupid! That is so stupid! It is checking the object references against each other instead of the conversion to int objects. So that is bullshit. That is total bullshit. yeah, no. Now, why doesn't it convert it to a freaking int? Like it's of type int, so why doesn't it use it as an int? Probably because of how, yeah, it works. But okay. Oh no, this is way too quick. Way too quick. Way too quick. I cannot. It's testing. Generate display. Okay. One. Score. One. And, wow, 2 coins. That is a lot of coins. I do say so myself. It is a lot of coins. For a 10 by 10. It's a lot of coins. That is the end of it. Yep, that did it. Yay! Gameplay loop is done. Yay! Gameplay loop is done. So yeah, and now I want to maybe add a hut somewhere. Or how many coins that you have. And then also some other stuff. I'm still needing to think on what actually to put in there. I want it to be more exploration based than anything else, so we'll need to see. What bad. I'm already really happy that this works, and I will publish this to private. So I don't think you'll be able to find it thingy, but I want my private one to be updated. And then I can go to sleep. Haha. I will. It's that time of the day. I have work tomorrow. Yeah. Don't really care about it now. Now, what to add next up, I will see. I will see what that all is to do and what we can change and do. But for the rest, people, have a great evening. And I'll see you guys if you join again. I think I'll do another stream. Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. I think my next stream will be Tuesday. So yeah. Have a good evening, people, and bye bye.